Guys, we're moving to London.
I thought we already moved to London.
Yeah, where are we right now? I feel like we're moving somewhere new every 2 months.
Honestly, it's giving me back pain. We have to deal with this head on.
Didn't you just finish renovating your condo too? Like,
Hi, I'm Jen, and I'm moving to London. Again. Your 20s are full of change, and right now I'm caught in the middle of it, figuring out who I am and where I'm meant to be. But if I have to figure it out somewhere, London feels like the place to do it. Last year, I left Vancouver and spent 5 months in London testing the waters, and I fell for it. The architecture, the diversity, the endless possibilities. But moving across the world isn't easy. It's terrifying leaving behind family, friends, and the life I've always known. Still, there's something about being young and untethered, about saying yes to adventure before fear has the chance to talk me out of it. I don't know how long I'll be there, maybe for a season, maybe for a lifetime, but right now, I think London is calling.
I'm back! So I asked you guys on Instagram if you had any questions, and you guys were very confused. So let's clear up the confusion, shall we? Can we get a TLDR on where you've lived the past couple of years? Because I'm curious but confused. Let me break it down.
Welcome to Where the F Has Jen Been? In 2016, I moved to New York City for university at NYU. I was just an 18-year-old, wide-eyed and terrified trying to navigate school, YouTube, and life in a big city. But I couldn't quite find my footing and I spiraled into depression. And eventually, I dropped out. So in 2018, I moved back home to Vancouver. I threw myself into YouTube full-time, making DIY videos non-stop. It was safe, it was familiar, but soon I wanted more. In 2019, I took the leap and moved to LA, finally living out my YouTuber dream. I cut my hair with squiggly scissors, went to Coachella for the first time, and got my first taste of apartment hunting. It felt like the start of something big. Until it wasn't. 2020 hit, and suddenly I was back in Vancouver, stuck in the uncertainty of the pandemic. The depression crept back in, but this time I chose to fight it. I started going outside, exploring the city I had taken for granted, and somewhere in the process, I fell in love with it. So much that I bought a condo downtown and spent the next couple of years renovating it with my dad, fighting through so many floods. Those years were full of growth, healing, and rediscovering what I wanted. But eventually, Vancouver started to feel like I was hitting a ceiling. So in 2023, I set out to explore. I spent months hopping between cities, Toronto, New York, and some places in Europe like Italy, Amsterdam, and London. Suddenly, the world felt so much bigger, which led to 2024, when I made the craziest decision yet. I moved to London. At first, it was just a trial run, but I made the most of it. I met new people, traveled to new places, and gained the kind of independence I never had before. But when my time was up and I flew back to Vancouver, something felt unfinished. And that brings us to now. So that's where I've been, and here I am in London now. But you guys had a ton more questions, so let me answer some of those while I walk you through some of my favorite places in London.
Wait, what? Look at him. No matter how long I'm here, Ben just does not get old. I need a skincare routine. How did you decide you wanted to go back to London over New York City? So a lot of you guys know that I went to school in New York. I actually really hated it at the time, but now whenever I go visit, because I have more friends and also I'm like more independent and capable, I love New York City. It just feels so free and like I love the walkability of it. So I actually really wanted to move to New York, but unfortunately it's a lot harder for me as a Canadian to move to the US than to the UK. So as a Canadian, the visa is a lot easier to get for London. I still want to move to New York someday, but I feel like this is my calling as of right now. Also, the US do be kind of crazy right now with the new regime. So I'm just gonna see how that plays out first. I just want to feel like re-inspired and challenged, and I want to have a new adventure. So London is also a great place to springboard off of to go to different European cities and countries. Also, when I was in school, I never got the chance to do study abroad. So this kind of feels like my study abroad moment. I feel like London has so many opportunities. Like there's so many different types of people, food, cultures, just things to do. Everything that you could want, London has. It's a very unique time in my life where I don't have any ties back to a a certain place. Like I don't have a husband, kids, and so I just feel like I want to like frolic around the world, you know? I'm young and healthy. I just don't know when else I would have this opportunity to live in Europe. My parents are getting older. It makes me really, really sad to think about. But just in case they do get, you know, sick or need me to take care of them, I want to make sure that I've done all of my travels and like don't have any regrets before I need to go back home or want to go back home. When else am I gonna live in Europe? Also, like, why not? How has the transition been moving to London? Last time I came here with my best friend Ricky. We lived here for like 5 months, but this time I am doing it like completely alone. Obviously, I know a couple people here, but it's still different. Like there's nobody that I've known for my entire life, no like safety net, no one to fall back on or like rely on that much. And so it's a lot scarier. I feel kind of unstable a lot of the times, like mentally, it's very challenging. I've realized that for a lot of my travels or like places I've moved over the past couple of years, it's made me think that I'm like so capable and so independent. I'm like, wow, like I can move to any city I want and do it alone. There's no issues, like I feel amazing, I feel happy. But I've realized that whenever I move, I always do it with a friend or like I'm going to a friend who like already lives there. But this time it's just me and I'm facing a lot more challenges where I have to like figure things out myself and have to like sit with the feeling of depending on me and myself only. It's kind of the longest that I felt it other than when I first moved to New York for school. It's actually really, really reminding me of that feeling. And I remember like getting so depressed when I was at NYU. And sometimes I like feel myself getting to that point, but now I have more tools to like actually bring myself out of that. It almost feels like deja vu because it's like, oh, I'm moving to a new big city alone. And I'm like starting this new chapter of my life, having to make new friends, learn new things, cook for myself, you know? And so I feel like this London era is kind of a chance for me to like avenge my moving to a big city adventure and hopefully learn some new things, teach myself some new things, and have a lot of fun. Are you getting a new apartment or are we still in our traveling era? I am getting a new apartment, a flat actually. They call it a flat here. I will be whipping out the British accent now and again. By now and again, I mean basically every sentence. Yes, I'm going to be flat hunting, which is so exciting. This time I'm here for at least a year. So stay tuned for that video and the empty apartment tour, decorating, moving in, buying furniture, all that kind of stuff. I'm so excited. But obviously a big draw of moving to London in the first place is that it's so easy to travel around Europe. And also you guys helped me discover the Eurostar, which is a train that runs from London to Paris and then also like Amsterdam or like Rotterdam or something. Fact check me on that. But I love Paris, so I will be going so often. If you guys live in London or live in Paris, hit me up, we can hang out. Let me know some places that I should visit because I obviously have been to / know the European countries that North Americans always travel to, like Spain, France, Greece, Italy, but give me some places that are less known or like also really beautiful, but people just like don't really give as much love to. I would love to travel more. The way that I could just sit here in front of the London Eye and just chill right now, like people watching, is my actual favorite thing in the world. I love people watching. Look at, I'm sorry, everyone's staring at me. What y'all looking at? What y'all looking at? Am I that beautiful today? What's going on? Like, what do you mean? I got a lot of comments talking about what happened to my condo in Vancouver. Am I ever planning on moving back? It still exists, but it's still back in Vancouver. There are people living in it right now. I do also really miss it. I miss being in my own place that I've made over with my dad. Like every room that was in there, like I just felt so at home in, and also like we had put so much work in, and I could really feel that. It just like felt like I was really connected to my family there because we put in so much effort together. It was like a joint project. But I do plan on moving back to Vancouver someday. I just love Vancouver. It's so nice. If you've never been to Vancouver, you need to go. It's like so pleasant. The summertime is like the best weather that I've ever experienced in my entire life anywhere in the world. It's like the best place to be in the summertime. Like I cannot stress that enough. I got so many comments about the British boy. Give us details. What can I tell you? I don't know. I'm just a girl. What do you want me to, I don't know what you want me to say. Wait, let's, I don't know. I'm at the British Museum. It's kind of crazy and chaotic right now. I've been here a couple times, but it's always like so busy. How is the relationship with your DIY side? You used to love making DIYs. Is this something you stepped out of for a moment? I used to love making DIYs, and then I was like, okay, now it just feels like a job. Like I have to do it because I have to make a video on it. Making DIYs was like so tiring because I was not doing anything else with my life other than just like making DIY videos. I was like, my life has no meaning other than DIY, and that's not really fun. So I had to, you know, step outside to regain a sense of the sense that I'm actually a human being. After some time apart and actually like living my life and like doing things that make me feel good and discovering like what makes me outside of work, I'm ready to like step back into making DIY. So I've been visiting more museums, making more friends, socializing, doing things that are not just my job, because I get very like hyper fixated on one thing. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna spend all my time on it, and then eventually I get burnt out. So I don't want to go through that cycle again, so I'm trying to be a little more balanced, but I have been slowly like dipping my toe back into it. I brought my mom to her first pottery class for Christmas and she loved it, so I want to do more pottery. Oh. This is so awkward. I need to go somewhere else. Okay, I got kicked out of the museum. Like being at the museum already is inspiring me to decorate my room a certain way, paint my own paintings. Just like seeing the outside world is inspiring me a lot. I'm excited to do more DIY videos. The problem was never that I didn't like making things. The problem was that I made it too much of, am I okay? The problem was I was working too much and not living like a real person. Like we're not put on this earth to work. I mean, we're not put on this earth to do anything. We can do whatever we want. If something's not making you happy and someone's not literally holding a knife to your throat, why? You have free will. Obviously, this is oversimplifying things, but you know what I mean. Obviously, everyone is in a different circumstance, but what made me happy was stepping away for a little bit and then just like rethinking what I actually want to do with my life. Do you see yourself doing more crochet videos? I love crocheting. I've done a couple crochet videos so far, but I definitely want to do more. I tend to really want to do like extreme ideas, like crocheting the Sabrina Carpenter dress. I have an issue of like, if I start something, I want to immediately be so good at it. I never want to make like basic crochet projects. I'm like, I better be amazing or else I'm not going to do it anymore. Every time I pick up a hobby, I'm like, if I'm not good at it immediately, it's gone. So I need to work on that, I think. I don't know where it comes from. Perfectionism, fear of failure. I don't know. There's a lot of things we could dig through, but we don't really have the time. But yeah, that's definitely something I want to do more because it's also like a great pastime to do instead of like going on my phone while I'm watching something. The phone addiction has really gotten like so bad. Like it's actually so bad. I can't even tell you guys the depths of what's happening right now. It's embarrassing. So maybe I'll make a whole video on how I'm healing my phone addiction, but crochet, yes. DIY videos, yes. I don't know, I just think it's fun to like connect with yourself, to make things, to be proud of, like, especially in such a capitalistic, fast production moving world, like making things and having things that you put thought into makes you like slow down. It just helps me connect with myself. It's me time. It's time for me. I don't know if that made any sense. Anyway, let's move. I love this park. It reminds me of like a part of Washington Square Park in New York, but not crazy vibes. Like there's not a random drummer going on in the middle. There's not some guy yelling at people to convert. It's really peaceful and quiet. And I think it's what Washington Square Park wanted to be. But then the TikTok interviewers came onto the scene and suddenly Washington Square Park is what it is now today. Does the Glow Project still know it exists? Oh. Attack. Barely. I think it's really holding on by like a hair right now. I don't think it knows it exists anymore, actually. It's just living in its own world. But no, I'm bringing the life back to the Glow Project. I have realized that changing your life doesn't come like this. So if you don't know what the Glow Project is, it's this video series that I started a couple years ago where I was like, I'm gonna change my life in a year, follow along, follow my journey. My life is a mess right now, but by the end of the year, it's gonna be amazing. Life doesn't work like that. Changing your life, improving it is like a lifelong journey, but at the same time, like filming it in a way that I've never filmed it before, way more cinematic and edited like a lot crazier. It was a very big creative challenge for me, which I really enjoyed. I had so much fun making it, but it takes so much longer for me to make than like videos that I've done in the past. So that's why it takes so long for them to come out, because I actually have to like make the changes in my actual real life. So I'm like figuring it out on the job, but I have kind of just been living my life for the past little while, which is why I've been away for so long. But I've learned a lot of things, grown a lot, and so I'm ready to report back with the details. I don't know when, I can't make any promises, but I think it'll continue to be just like a sporadic check-in type of thing when I have something to say. But it means a lot to me that the episodes that I've already put out have made such an impact on some of you guys, that people can connect with it and resonate with my story, and to know that my struggle has not gone to waste. We're all going through it together. I'm actually so mad right now. I just got an email from AXS. I was supposed to go to the Pitbull concert. I booked my tickets like months ago, and they just, the concert is tomorrow. They just emailed me telling me that, oh, sorry, we regret to inform you that we double booked your tickets, so your tickets don't exist. Excuse, you couldn't have told me this months ago? I got the bald cap, and what? This is actually like insane. No, because you guys know how much I adore Pitbull. No. This was gonna ring in my London era. Like what? That's actually crazy. They're just, oh, sorry, you can't go to Pitbull anymore. That's actually not okay with me. Okay, you know what? That's a personal issue. You guys don't have to listen to that. Anyway, I'm in London. But Pitbull-less. No, that's actually crazy, and I actually don't know how to end this video anymore. I'm actually like heartbroken. I can't believe they can just do this. Is this real? What if it's fake? I hope it's fake. I'm like going through all the stages of grief. What's happening? Thank you for understanding, and once again, please, I don't understand. I actually don't understand. Anyway, I hope you guys understand the video and why I'm back in London. I'm gonna have to deal with this Pitbull situation, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Look forward to my London era. I will be going flat hunting, moving in, decorating, making new friends, going to things. I guess not Pitbull. Like, I'm gonna go sob in the park now. But subscribe. Stay tuned. No. I actually can't deal with this. I actually can't deal with this.